Hey guys, my name is Jason and this is my 2006 Nissan Pathfinder. So what we're gonna do in this video is I'm just gonna go over a brief history of the vehicle, when I bought it, how much I bought it for, what I've done for maintenance, what I've done for current modifications, and also what you can probably expect to see in the future. Also, if you're looking at picking one up, I can go over the common issues, stuff you should replace so that it doesn't fail, what you can do for modifications and stuff like that. So strap in and let's go for a little ride. All right, so let's start with a little bit of the history. So I bought it in November of 2022. And the main reason I bought it is because it was super clean and it only had 68,000 miles on it. I was looking for an Xterra. I wanted a Pro 4X Xterra. Unfortunately, they were out of my price range. They were still between 15 and 20 grand for one in really good condition. I started looking at the Pathfinder, and one of the things that stood out to me is that it has 3 rows of seats and they all fold perfectly flat. And my thought at the time was that I was going to be doing a lot of camping in it and also sleeping inside. And so that was a great point because there was a lot of space. I could put an air mattress in there and I could just sleep inside, and it was going to be amazing. That was one of the reasons I bought it. Also because it was clean, the low mileage, and I just wanted something different, you know? Most of the people you'll see on YouTube that are doing overlanding off-roading are either in Jeeps or in some sort of Toyota. It's nice to just, stand out from the crowd and have something a little different. All right, so as far as stuff that I have done for maintenance, so I've actually replaced the valve covers because the valve covers, the seal tends to leak on them, mainly at the bottom. The spark plug well seals are not replaceable. So the only way to fix a leak here is to replace the whole valve cover. And you can actually get a pair of them for like 150 bucks or less. It's not that bad. But I've also done spark plugs and coil packs. And then if you look at the heater lines on the firewall here, I have replaced these. The factory ones are actually plastic and they break all the time because they get super brittle from the heat. And so before mine broke on me in the middle of nowhere, I decided to just preventative maintenance. I went ahead and bought, this is the Dorman replacement. And as you can see, it replaces them with metal fittings and hoses and everything right here so that they will not break on you and you don't have to worry about that failure point. Other minor things that I have done, of course, I replaced the battery, but I did this when I bought the winch so that I had a better battery. This is an AGM. I've also had the power steering hoses between the reservoir and the pump were getting a little soggy, so I had those replaced so I didn't have to worry about them. I've also replaced the radiator to avoid S-Mod. If you don't know what S-Mod is, it's strawberry milkshake of death, and it basically is from the transmission lines go into the radiator, and then they come out on this side, come up the side of the radiator, and then this right here is actually the external transmission cooler. I don't think all R51 Pathfinders have this. It might be exclusive to the tow package, but I do have the tow package, so I have the external cooler. But the lines that go into the radiator can crack in there and it'll mix the transmission fluid with the antifreeze, and then you get a strawberry milkshake. And if you don't catch it in time, it's gonna ruin your transmission and you're gonna have to buy a new transmission. So this is a aftermarket CSF plastic in-tank radiator. I do have an aluminum 3-row, a thicker one, I've purchased it, but I haven't installed it yet, so look forward to that in the future. Another thing I had to do was replace all of the control arms, front and back. The bolts that were holding them on were rusted, and so they had to be cut off, and so I just replaced all of the lower control arms. At the time, I did put eccentric bolts in the front because these do not come with the cam bolts. But I have since removed them. As you can see, I have lockout bolts in there so that it doesn't adjust and also it doesn't move when I'm off-roading. I did replace the tie rod ends recently because I had some steering shake while I was braking, and I was certain it was not the brakes because it was not happening all the time. So I thought maybe it's the tie rod ends, so I replaced those, and sure enough, it went away. Some of the other maintenance items that you can't really see kind of underneath, where the front drive shaft goes into the transfer case, the seal there was leaking, so I had that fixed. I did replace the front CV axles, but that was not a maintenance thing. That was because I broke both of them on a trail. If you haven't seen that, I will leave a link in the description below. Hey guys, just gonna butt in here in editing and give you a full list of everything I have fixed or replaced in the name of maintenance, since I realized that I missed a few things while making the video. Feel free to pause it if you would like to read the whole list. But enough jibber jabbering about that. Let's get to the mods because I'm sure that's what you're here for. So let's start up front. We have a Coastal Off-Road front bumper. Now, if you don't know Coastal Off-Road, they offer aftermarket off-road, front bumper, rear bumper sliders. These sliders are from Coastal Off-Road as well, as far as the rear bumper too, and we will get there in a second. But they are slightly different because they don't offer complete bumpers. You have to weld them together yourself. So they send you the kit with all the pieces and the instructions, and you weld them together yourself. And I do have the lights in the front here, but I have not wired them up yet. I bought some connectors that I thought I could use to wire those lights to the factory fog light switch, because this had factory fog lights, and unfortunately it doesn't work. It didn't. I thought I could get away with it, but it doesn't work that well. So then, as you can see here, we've got the Z1 Off-Road tow hooks. There's a lot of space. They're a little bit wider than this panel here. So I bought these bearing things from True Value to fill up the space, and it works perfectly. And we also have a Badland winch from Harbor Freight. This is a 12K with the synthetic rope. And yes, it's from Harbor Freight, but these things have great reviews. Now, for the suspension lift, like I said, these don't like to be lifted more than 2 inches. So this is a 2-inch lift with Coney shocks from All Dogs Off-Road. Unfortunately, they do not sell this kit anymore. So I would highly recommend it because it is very smooth on the road, but they don't sell it anymore. So we've got the 2-inch lift, springs with Coney shocks from All Dogs Off-Road. And then, as you can see here, we have a 1.5-inch body lift. That's the white puck there above the bottom mount. And I also have the Z1 Off-Road upper control arms. As I said, Coastal Off-Road rock rails here. Now, I don't really like the way these came out. It's more of a side step. I mean, it kind of works as both, right? It blocks the rocks from hitting the body, but also it's kind of a step that you can step on. And I feel like it sticks out too far, so I might get these either modified or replaced soon with something that tucks up a little bit closer to the body and doesn't stick out so far. And there you see the lift springs from All Dogs in the back. Like I said, these are independent rear suspension. Another cut in editing here to show you the skid plate package that I am currently running since I forgot to film it while making this video. Here's some footage from just after I installed them new. From front to back, it has a Coastal Off-Road skid that comes with the front bumper, a Z1 Off-Road engine skid, which is actually made from a soft aluminum and bends fairly easily, and finally the transfer case and fuel tank skids are from ASFIR. One very important modification that I forgot to mention while filming is the Locka brand locker in the front differential. This is an automatic locker, also known as a lunchbox locker, and it engages when you put the vehicle into four-wheel drive. Because the locker is constantly locked while in four-wheel drive, the steering becomes heavy and the vehicle can feel a bit darty. It's worked great so far and has gotten me through some difficult trails up to this point, but I do have plans to replace it with an electronic locker in the near future so that I can use four-wheel drive without being locked all the time. And here's the Coastal Off-Road rear bumper. Now it tucks right up in here to the body, which is really nice. You get a lot of extra clearance underneath. That is a lot higher than the stock bumper usually is. I hopefully won't be hitting it a lot. Now this has the spare tire carrier on the back, and the spare tire is actually supposed to be offset more to the passenger side here, but the guy that I had welded up for me actually put it right in the middle. So you can get another swing out for this side that just welds in this area. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it because this is kind of in the wrong spot, I guess you could say. And because it's in the wrong spot, this handle right here that you use to release the swing out here, it was hitting the tire right here because it was the tire wasn't put in the right spot. So I ended up having to just slip this red sleeve off, cut like 1.5 inches off of this handle. And so now I can release it. It just goes on this little hook down here at the bottom. And there you go. This is also a secondary release here. So pull that down and then you pull this up and it swings out. And it's pretty nice. I might try to get like a table thing for the back of this so that when I'm camping I have a flip down table. Just swing it back into place. Goes in the hole there. Bam. Then of course, because the tire's in the middle, I had to relocate the license plate, so I put it right here on the side, and then it's all wired up to the trailer wiring so that I have an LED light here that works when the lights are on. So as far as the wheels and tires go, these are a Milestar, a Patagonia XT. I didn't really want an aggressive mud terrain tire, and I wanted something more aggressive than an all-terrain. So they offer these. It's an XT, it's kind of in the middle, and they've worked great so far. This is an LT tire, also E-rated, so it's got some really strong sidewalls. I have not had any sidewall punctures yet. Sometimes, like right now, it's down to 18 PSI, but I've gone as low as 15 PSI just for smooth ride and also for climbing rocks and whatnot. The wheels are a Raceline wheel. These are 16x8. I think the offset is -16. I don't know the exact model, but I will put it on the screen right here so that you can get one for yourself. There are very few companies that offer wheels in 6x114, and this, in my opinion, is one of the best ones that is available. All right, and like I said earlier, one of the reasons I bought this is because it has 3 rows of seats, but also because they fold pretty much perfectly flat. So I can put an air mattress in here and sleep inside when I go on trips. Just installed this MOLLE panel setup. There's one on each rear window. And these are nice because there's actually a bracket that bolts to the body here and offers a lot of support. I had some before that were not that great, and they just used anchors in the plastic, and they were not that great quality. So as you can see, it comes with a shelf here that I put some bins on, keep my tire hose kit up here, and this is how I'm going to be rocking it for a little bit. I'm going to be putting a much bigger mattress in here than the one I usually use. Some of you may have seen before I had like a wood drawer here that I built, and then I put my 12-volt fridge on top of it. We're not going to be doing that anymore. All the stuff that was in that wood storage drawer is now up here in these bins. And the fridge will go, as you can see, I took the front passenger seat out right up in this area here. And here's a look at the front area. So I took the passenger seat out. So I'm hoping that I can put the fridge right here. And we've got Morphlate air compressor. This is the one where you can set the pressures and walk away, and it just airs up to that pressure and stops. And I had to extend the battery hookups for it so that I can just run them over the door here and to the battery. And here's a look at the MOLLE panels from the front of the vehicle. All right, so that's my 2006 Nissan Pathfinder, also known as R51 Pathfinder. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. I'll answer them as quick as I can. And we've got a trip coming up with this thing this next week, so look out for some video from that. And as far as future mods, I really would like to do the Titan front suspension. And with these, if you want to do something in the back, because the Titan front suspension will actually push the offset of the wheels out. And if you want to match it with the rear in these, I can actually use a subframe from a Nissan Armada, and it'll basically do the same thing in the rear. Gives you a little more travel, and it's much better for off-roading. So that's something that will happen in the future. When that will happen, that's going to depend on funding, and it probably won't happen for a while. So yeah, thanks for watching. And like I said, if you have any questions down in the comments, I'll answer them as soon as I can, and we'll catch you guys next time.